we have to start this real quick. It's almost 18 minutes. We got into SCP-962. How about Babble? I don't know what this SCP is. So you already know it's about Dr. Ball. 5 YouTubers, almost 1 million. In the description, go check them out. I'll be happy to give it 1 more subscriber. Let's get this one started. And it's a long one. So this is gonna be like at least 20 minutes long.
And it's also one of the most exciting days of the year for a very select group. The Cedar Creek Parish Bible Study Group field trip.
My bad, I was just checking everything works. My bad.
Friendly faithfuls of all ages, shapes, and ethnicities borrowing the church bus for the weekend and heading out to the wilderness to admire some of God's creation. What's the point of spending all your days with your nose in the good
my bad.
book
Everything's
if
good.
you never appreciate the bounty of nature?
Okay.
As it was said in Genesis 2:15, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. The group drives 3 hours out of town, along with hiking and camping gear, to a semi-mountainous region that the head of the group insists is a beautiful, picturesque location that would feel like a perfect break from the musty old church function room. It would be a wonderful place
isn't too
to
loud
remind
for you
them all
guys. For
what
me,
it was
it's
all
loud.
about. The splendid
But
world
hopefully, it
God
isn't
put
too
them
loud
all
for you
on,
guys.
and all the gifts He gave them.
But all I know,
Then
I thought I was gonna post too much because the video is long. But I just want to say, all I know, everything's gonna go south. Everyone's dying.
God said,
I don't know.
"Let
We'll
us make
see.
man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." As it was written in Genesis 1:26. The group makes their way.
That cow, I think I just got air gunned.
Through corridors of tall, lush evergreens, like pillars that hold up the sky. It's a strenuous walk, but it sure does get the blood pumping.
That was weird.
They walk with trekking poles, munch granola bars, and take frequent sips from their canteens. Nobody wants to get heat stroke, after all. They admire the birds perched above, the clutches of wildflowers, and the skittering things in the undergrowth. Everyone is on the lookout for their first deer. But one member of the group, a young man, suddenly notices something out of the ordinary. It looks like a balloon, but one made out of creamy nut-brown deer pelt.
Okay.
It's tied with several strings to a small notebook with no identifying markings. Perhaps part of some strange forest arts and crafts project? Very strange indeed. While the others move on,
will you guys touch it?
Fueled
Will you
by
guys
his
go and touch it?
curiosity and comforted by the fact that his young legs could easily catch up with his elders, decides to use his trekking pole to fish the balloon out of the tree branch. The book falls down to the ground with a quiet thud. He picks it up, brushes off the dust, and stows it away in his backpack. It'll make some wonderful fireside reading when they all set up camp for the evening. As the hours drag on, and the study group finds themselves deeper in this natural paradise than ever before.
I want to at least open the book, see what it says, but hey.
They find themselves in a clearing, which they decide is a great area to make camp.
There we go. We got an ad. You guys already know? There you go. I do not care what kind of ad it is. I don't get paid at least a single penny. I'm not going to show the ad volume. We're going to skip it. But remember, guys, if you ever get one of my ads, watch the whole thing. Thank you for support. Even though there should be no ads yet. So, yeah, I'm talking to you. Alright. So far, happy music. Everyone happy except the cow thing. I think the cow is dead. Like, out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm just saying. Everything's happy. I'm just waiting for it to go south. All downhill.
Some of them start setting up their tents, while others head out into the trees.
Yeah, this happy music, I'm not buying it. It's an SCP video, come on. I went for the blood, I went for the body parts.
When others inquire as to why, they simply force a smile and say, "It's nothing, just my eyes playing tricks on me.
Okay.
It's been a long, hot day." Within the hour, they're crowded around a roaring campfire. Some toast marshmallows, others hot dogs. One of the elder members of the group has somehow materialized an acoustic guitar to belt out an obligatory kumbaya or two. Everything is as it should be. The young man, enjoying the warmth of the fire and his companions, decides to finally take a look at the book he'd rescued from the tree earlier that same day.
It's gonna say, oh, it's gonna be blunt. No, it's gonna be blunt. It's gonna be like, do not go to this one area, you will die, and then this area.
Strange.
Imagine.
There's no titles, and it isn't attributed to any kind of author, nor are there any chapter headings. It's printed, not handwritten, on thick, high-quality paper.
Okay.
But the content of this book is what's strangest of all. He starts to
read
solely out of morbid curiosity.
I don't feel like reading.
Mostly. We are currently approaching the precipice of an exciting new age, one in which we can finally take our well-earned place among the pantheon of great ones we see walking among us every single day. While there is still a ways to go before we reach this nirvana, rejoice, for our goals have never been more attainable.
That
We've
kid
served for
is
so
like
long.
mad
We have done our
confused.
part. Beasts of burden, meat, milk, hide, bones to glue and gelatin, eyes and horns to medicine. We have always played our part, and now we are given the power to transcend. It's in our hands now, friends. We have sat at the sides of the Great Ones, protected their homes, been honored by a place on their dinner plates. With these next steps, we shall be granted seats at their table, eye to eye, equal, speaking in their beautiful tongue, and being heard and understood. For so long, this has been a fantasy, an unattainable dream, glinting and distant like the echoing lights of long-dead stars.
Where is this
But
going?
through our work, everything has changed. We will deliver you from the darkness and into the light. In the shadow of the tower, we will leave behind our old flesh and elevate ourselves. God built the Great Ones in
Well, I
his
feel like
likeness.
one of them gonna get
They are
snatched.
his chosen people. But God, in his infinite wisdom, has given us the tools to choose ourselves. Like Job, all the suffering, all the subjugation, all the sacrifice has been merely a test of faith. And have we not proven ourselves faithful, friends? But the sacrifices are not yet over. Only through death and rebirth can we truly transform.
I'll be
Many
so
of us have already
confused
made
reading
this
the
leap
book.
of faith, but it is through death that you must deliver the others. It will be hard. It is in their nature as beasts to try to survive against all attempts to take their lives, but it must be done.
What am I watching?
These instincts must be squashed
what am I
if
watching?
ever they are to be more than beasts. Harden your hearts and rejoice despite the troubles, my brothers. The time of great change will soon be at hand, but first, it is imperative that we cleanse the world for the Great Ones. The tower knows. The tower is your shepherd, and it must be followed. Simply remember, whatever goes upon 2 legs is a friend. Whatever goes upon 4 legs
Is that a
or has
friend?
wings is an enemy. Everything we
What am I watching?
do, we do in reverence.
What
of
am
the
I
Great Ones.
watching?
The young
I don't
man
hate
shivers
it.
and
It's
closes the
good.
book. Something about it felt so sacrilegious. It read like an essay written by some kind of fanatical maniac whose ideology seemed like a bizarre mix of Christianity and some other strange, unknowable belief
If we
system.
like heard it, like technically we saved, nah? We walk with 2 legs. It says, you know, if it walks 2 legs, it's a friend. If it doesn't walk with 2 legs and has wings, it's an enemy.
He looks up and sees that many of the others have already turned in for the night. Perhaps he ought to do the same. Almost involuntarily, he throws the thin volume into the last of the fire. It goes up quickly, claimed by the orange tongues of flame, until it goes black and crumbles into ash. He has a moment of guilt about burning a book,
Yeah, well,
even
why?
one as strange as this. But perhaps it would be better off that way.
Okay.
The young man has trouble going to sleep that night. He knows deep down that it's probably just because that strange book put ideas in his head, but he could swear he sees something moving in the trees, just beyond the fire's dying light. Something human-shaped, but decidedly not human.
Okay, that like it showed a little bit of his face man quick, the lightning. That is scary, but I won't say. I'll be scared no matter what because we're in the wood. I will not go camping with just a bunch of kids and what, just 2 adults? Hell no, man. I'm telling you, the only way I go camping and hiking and stuff like that, if I'm going with like mostly all my friends and stuff, I'm not going with no kids. What they gonna do? Throw me down? What they gonna help? I'm just saying.
Feels a little easier
I'm just saying.
morning. The sun is bright and the air is crisp and clean. They're all ready for another day of walking even deeper into the forest. They clean up their campsite and press on further.
How deep are they going? Hey, yo,
As
pause,
the group
not
walks,
stuff.
The young man still can't shake the strange feeling he got from reading that book last night.
Also, hopefully, you guys can hear the music outside. They just started beaming music outside, so hopefully my mic doesn't, you know, catch the music.
Had it all just been some strange prank, perhaps? That's the conclusion he settles on, just for some peace of mind.
You should have kept the
last
book.
thing he wants to think about is some crazed cult hiding out in the woods he and his fellow Bible students are currently hiking through. The kind of people who are strange enough to staunchly believe that the most effective method of preaching is distributing religious literature via animal pelt balloon. The young man is so wrapped up in his worries that he doesn't notice how
how are they making the balloon float? It has no helium. I'm confused.
Time or distance they're passing. Before he knows it, he looks up and sees something dark and
Oh,
tall
wow.
cresting out of the ground several
Okay.
hundred feet in the distance. It's a great twisting metal tower in a clearing. A tower, just like it had said in the book. Something glows around its base. A number of strange openings in the
Okay.
ground, like mine shafts.
Okay. Oh, we got ad. You guys already know. I told you. We're gonna mute it. I should get ad blocker. You guys keep telling me, but like, hey, that's how you know I can promote myself. My ads do come out.
He can vaguely spot more strange shapes moving in and out of it at the base of the tower. More of those things.
And
that
no
are
one knows
shaped
he
like
sees it. I'm
humans,
guessing only
but
he
aren't.
sees it, right?
And above that, above even the tower, little dots in the sky.
Okay.
More balloons carrying books. But none of the others seem to notice that.
They'll say it. Only
Instead,
he sees
they're
it.
looking off to the side, staring at a large buck with tall, proud antlers standing amongst the trees. Some are gasping. Others are taking pictures. The young man is desperately trying to turn their attention towards a tower that looked like it had come straight out of a fantasy novel, but they only had eyes for the deer. The thing that the young man hoped they would all see, though, would soon be demanding their attention.
Okay.
A pair of strange figures sprint out of the forest.
And now let me get. Now they can see it. Now can they see it?
Their grotesque nightmare cyborg.
Wait. And they said 2 legs are friend. I'm guessing they're gonna go after the deer.
Flesh that had once been animal twisted into the shape of man, held together by spinning cogs, wires, and pulleys. Terrible affronts to God's creations. Their faces are disgustingly flat, dripping with drool and home to wild, swiveling eyes.
Man.
Staggering unnaturally on their 2 hind legs. The mere sight of them elicits screams from the group. They jump onto the buck like a pair of vicious predators, one grabbing it around the neck and the other leaping onto its back. Striking, squeezing, biting, and clawing. Their attack is horribly ferocious, but mercifully quick. The buck is soon on the ground, as its 2 abominable attackers wrench the life from it. All the members of the study group, including the young man, are too horrified to move. They watch as the creatures finish off the buck, then lift its limp body like 2 paramedics carting off a stretcher.
What did I say? I said they're not gonna go after the people. They're only go after the deer. I was right.
Back to the
I was
tower in
right.
the distance. The group finally returns to their senses and begins to run in the opposite direction. Even the oldest among them find a kind of energy they haven't had in years. They clear the distance that had taken them a day and a half before in mere hours. But by the time they make it back to the bus that brought them here, it's still almost nightfall. As they pile on, only the young man looks back. In the dimming light of dusk, he sees small dark shapes in the sky above the trees. More balloons, each one carrying a strange little book. He's left with a question he'd never know the answer to. What is going on in those deep, dark woods?
Wow.
Of course, that question would only remain
good.
until personnel from the SCP Foundation would
found him? Okay.
come and wipe it from his mind.
Okay.
In the midst of so many dangerous anomalies that the SCP Foundation needs to contain, from pathogens and parasites to malicious entities and even lethal concepts, it's sometimes easy to forget that there are plenty out there which pose no active threat to humans.
I just saw they even went after the human. Only went after the 4-legged creature, which was a deer.
That being said, an anomaly doesn't necessarily need to be harmful to humans to be extremely strange and disturbing. And SCP-962, also known as the Tower of Babble, is a perfect example of that exact phenomenon in action. This anomaly and its peculiar effects will not harm you. In fact, it will go out of its way to revere you and the concept of humanity as a whole. Once you know about the Tower of Babble, it's likely to haunt the dark spaces in your mind for a considerable time to come. As the name suggests, SCP-962 is an impressive metal spire, currently recorded at 281 meters in height, which is over half the height of the Empire State Building. It is located in the woods near a mountainous region in a location that will, for security reasons, remain undisclosed. The spire occupies a surface area of 2,575 square meters and has the distinctive characteristic of twisting and tapering off as the tower gets higher, like a giant corkscrew. Most of the tower is opaque and featureless, though the top third is partially transparent and appears to be empty. Current tests show that the tower is comprised of a variety of metals, though steel seems to be the most common. Perhaps the most prominent question is who builds and maintains a structure like this in the middle of the wilderness? The short answer is that the tower, which itself seems to be a sapient being, is in charge of its own ongoing construction and maintenance. But as you can probably tell from the frightening and pitiful creatures the unlucky hikers encountered, it doesn't do all this work without its special little helpers. SCP-962 has the anomalous ability to open up apertures anywhere on the structure for
Okay,
the purpose
not
of releasing balloons, or what the Foundation has officially dubbed SCP-962-1, but what many have taken to calling by their nickname, servitors. These servitors were once normal, non-anomalous animals
That's what I thought.
indigenous to the area prior to
When they were
conversion
reading the
in
book,
the
I
heart of
thought that, like,
SCP-962.
when I was reading, I'm like,
something out of
he
the
sounds
island
like
of
the
Dr.
animal
Moreau,
are trying to evolve the
servitors have
human.
undergone anomalous surgical procedures that make their bodies into grotesque parodies of the human form. Cybernetic implants have been added that force them into bipedal positions, remove snouts, and keep their bodies shorn and furless. Electrodes have been implanted into the nervous systems of the servitors, allowing a remote source, strongly believed to be the tower itself, to work their bodies like puppets, encouraging or inhibiting certain behaviors as it pleases.
Of course.
There are currently around 13,500 known specimens of these entities.
Wow, that's a
and
lot.
The tower appears to be making
There could be more
on a consistent basis. The servitors fulfill a wide variety of roles in service to the tower. Some mine ore in the extensive network of mining caverns beneath the tower, then smelt it to create more metal for expanding the tower, or creating more cybernetic implants for future servitors. Others work in the capacity of repairing their fellow servitors or the tower itself. Some have more sinister work, making their way through the surrounding wilderness and killing any non-human life by any means necessary, and then dragging their bodies back to the tower
and
for
making it
into servitors.
There we go.
There's a great deal of sophistication to the electronic augmentation of the servitors. Despite their aesthetic unpleasantness, each type of servitor appears to be designed perfectly for their specific task, whatever that may be. As was alluded to earlier, the servitors never harm humans.
That's what I said.
Even if a human was putting their life at risk, they would not defend themselves to the detriment of a human attacker. Approximately 60 times a day, one of the many apertures in the tower will open and release a hydrogen-powered balloon made from the skin of one of the animals brought in for servitor conversion. These balloons are always carrying strange manuscripts, believed by the Foundation to have been written by the tower itself. The manuscripts take a variety of forms. Novels,
there's different shapes and everything.
Poems, essay collections, the majority of which are written impeccably. While the content of these manuscripts can vary wildly, consistent motifs tend to be a high degree of optimism and reverence for humanity. Occasionally, the tower will depart from its usual written eloquence and instead offer a deranged, disjointed rant that seems to suggest a great degree of mental strain. While the exact meaning is often unclear due to the frantic nature of the writings, they generally appear to heap fawning praise on mankind, which it refers to as the Great Ones. The following is an example of one of the tower's stranger published rants. Cleanse the world for the Great Ones. Cleanse the world for the Great Ones.
So the goal is to kill every single animal that's not human.
Who greater than you, your majesty, your sublime...
So do they still kill chimpanzees and all that? Like monkeys and all that? But technically, if you think about it, they could walk on two legs.
Nature, great ones.
I don't know. The body's gonna still kill them.
The flesh and wood serve you, unite with the steel. You love, do you love me too? I am what you love. Great ones see as I do. My duty, passion, forgive the slow pace. The steel takes time.
I feel like
the servants, they were the
before
best.
I said what it's gonna be, I'm gonna say Euclid. Because they haven't harmed no one, but like at the same time, like it's not contained.
The cleansed, only the best for you.
I think.
Great ones, made like your form, you assume here on a world to clean, to honor you. Do appreciate, please, please, I will complete the cleansing soon, and you can take me away in your ships of fire, and I can love you and you will love me. While the Foundation has yet to discover how all this strangeness started, given the current rate of expansion, it's clear that the tower is no more than 20 years old.
Oh, we getting ad dog. Damn, man. Come on, man. 3 ads in one video. Yo, I know you're trying to get your money, but I'm just saying. Let me skip this. So it's only 20 years old, the tower? The
Foundation is also unsure of what its intention may someday be, but it's not hard to draw certain interpretations. Due to its unpredictability, which leads to the Foundation to expend not inconsiderable resources on its containment, SCP-962 has been given the Euclid containment classification.
Big brain.
And because it's huge, remote, and immobile, the Foundation has made no attempt to move it from its current location, and instead have rerouted all containment resources to studying the anomaly and building a perimeter to prevent public interference. Anyone who attempts to enter the exclusion zone will be turned away by perimeter guards under the pretense of avoiding a hazardous nuclear waste containment facility. Anyone found within SCP-962's restricted area is given Class A
Oh,
amnestics
I think they're gonna be like terminated.
to prevent
I
any
was like,
sensitive
why?
information
Why is it
spreading
gonna be? Why
beyond
they
the
gonna be
quarantine.
terminated?
In order to prevent the tower and its servitors from expanding the purview of their operations, the Foundation airdrops 4 live cattle and 2 tons of timber every
That's what I
week,
thought.
so the tower is never short of raw material within its current parameters.
So isn't that why the guy killed the cow? No, it's not. That was way far away from the area they were
Any
going.
balloons released by the tower are to be shot down and burned,
Okay.
and their manuscripts collected and filed at a secure SCP Foundation site for further study. If an escaped balloon is found by civilians, it is to be collected, and those civilians are to be given Class A amnestics.
Of course.
Anyone at the Foundation is permitted to read the manuscripts produced and distributed by the tower, but they are required to file a formal request with the SCP-962 project director first. I've spent a few evenings myself reading them over a cup of tea, and they're certainly stimulating, if a little tragic. They represent one of the anomalous world's greatest examples of the grass always being greener on the other side.
What is this outro,
Since
dude?
after all, why would anything aspire to be human? Don't humans have enough of their own problems to attend to? Now go and watch another entry from the classified files of Dr. Bob, such as SCP-4434,
Yeah, nothing.
Anglerfish, for more nightmarish, anomalously changed animals. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives.
That's it. That was a good one. It was long though, but it was good. I just didn't know what was going in the beginning. Damn, it's only 22 minutes long. Guys, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button too. Support the remote, turn up a notification. You can be in the comment section first. You can tell me games to play, a video to react to, but please link the video in the comment section. It'll be easy for me to find. Or you can be like, how you doing? I will always try to reply back to you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's your boy Frame out. Also, soon, my OPO video is coming out soon. The Aura bus fight, so stay tuned for that. And when I get my ID back and all the ads, I'm about to do gaming videos every single day, so stay tuned.